What's going on, good people? We're back here working on a weekend. This is Esports Extra, the show that talks traditional sports, esports, gaming, entertainment, and culture. Larry Ridley here, CBS Sports, Madden NFL, NBA 2K League. Great to be back here once again. Episode 3, right here on BNC, Black News Channel. We're here each and every Saturday and Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Got a great show for you. We're talking Milwaukee Bucks. Of course, we like big Bucks, and we cannot lie. They won the NBA Finals for the first time in 50 years. Giannis, the MVP. We'll get into Giannis talking about NBA super teams and doing it the hard way. Giannis also goes to Chick-fil-A, and he was trying to get stuff for free. Look, I'm a sports guy. If it ain't free, it ain't me. I'm all about that life, too. We'll get into Aaron Rodgers declining the offer, the extension from the Packers. We'll talk about that. Texas and Oklahoma. Are they trying to bolt the Big 12 and head down south in my neck of the woods? The SEC, we'll talk about that. A reporter refuses to call Deion Sanders Coach Prime. That was good. We'll talk about that. Also, Maria Taylor. We talked about it last week or the last week or two. Officially called her last game at ESPN. She has left ESPN. We'll tell you where she is heading or likely heading or rumored to be heading. And then we'll end the show with the esports subject, NBA 2K League Hornets Venom, GT. The Charlotte Hornets franchise, NBA 2K League, winning the very first big tournament in the NBA 2K League. Let's go ahead and bring in everybody. The 4 co-hosts for the day. Kelly Wells Brinkley, track and field star. What's up, Kales? Got an H-Town.
Man. I am so excited to be here with y'all tonight. We got some good stuff. I'm ready to argue. Derwin, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's
okay, because me and you sometimes are not on the same page.
Then got to check in. Also, Derwin, of course, is in Carnoustie, not too far from Iverson's sister in Bed-Stuy. OG King Kurt, you're not too far from Derwin. You're in Brooklyn, right? Or you back in you flying with those Dayton Flyers? Where you at?
Nah, I'm in Brooklyn, right around the corner from St. James Place, home of Biggie.
That's right, man. Coogee Sweaters, Brooklyn Nets. He is the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets gaming crew, NBA 2K League. Then, of course, we'll go back deep in the heart of Texas, down with the Metroplex. He's our guy. Hey, Willie, that baby face looking good. Boy, show that skin off.
Man, y'all need to show y'all skin off, man. I'm just trying to keep up with the crew, man. I'm happy to be here. We fooled them to let us on TV again. So that's 3. That's the magic number. Let's go for 4.
And you know we'll triple try you, baby. We let it fly, man. 23-9, baby.
Load up the clip. Let it go.
Yes, sir. We are 3 Mendes right here on this show, Esports Xtra. All right, guys, first topic. Giannis won the NBA Finals. Great scene there in Milwaukee, guys. Giannis and, of course, the Milwaukee Bucks coming back to win 4 straight against the Phoenix Suns. They did this twice during the NBA playoffs this year. Came back and won 4 straight against Brooklyn as well. So they win 4 straight, win this thing. Giannis, he did say had some interesting words after the game. He talked about doing it the hard way, doing it in Milwaukee, the place where he came about 7 or 8 years ago, skinny kid, about 200 pounds. Now he's like 240, 250. How he's grown and not joining these super teams like other guys. Your thoughts here, guys, on Giannis talking his talks. And hey, man, we might only win 1, but we did it, and you can't take it away. And we did not do it. Well, I did not do it by forming a union and joining another team and joining forces with other players. Kelly, your thoughts?
Man, he seemed like he had that saved up. Like he was ready. Like he put it. Yeah, he put it on a Post-it on his locker, and he was looking at that every day. But I mean, I can remember us touching on that and talking about that, amongst ourselves of, he didn't join a super team. He's in a market that's not so marketable, but he really, really did it the hard way. And he stayed and he was persistent. And they didn't have to build a super team. Yes, they have amazing players on the team with lots of talent, but what they did was stay the course. And I think that is, a remarkable thing to watch for all teams, young kids, to stay the course, that everything isn't this instant popcorn where you put together 4 or 5 magical players, Nets, and then you see that, they didn't even, make it to the championship. So I love it. I love it. I love candor. I love when players are in their face and really speak their minds, because we have thoughts, we have feelings and emotions. So share it.
Yeah. OG did it the hard way. He and Chris Middleton, 8 years together, brought in Drew Holiday. Had some really good pieces there. PJ Tucker said we were some dogs. We just had to kind of teach him how to be dogs a little bit. Let that dog come out of him. How about those Milwaukee Bucks, man? The Bronze Fawns, Cream City, Brew City, baby.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, it's always been the big talk about health wins championships. They fought through it, endured it. It was a moment where we didn't even think Giannis was going to come back and even play, let alone go on and win 4 straight and take home the championship. So it was great to see for a lot of reasons. I mean, for one, super teams get a lot of criticism, but still within those super teams that have won, you got role players who do a heck of a job of getting it done.
Hey, Willie, shots fired across the bow at all these players that have joined forces in the last, 10 to 12 years. Your thoughts on Giannis? And you talk about that new arena there, Pfizer Forum. Looks pretty nice. How about Deer Park? They had 65,000 people in Deer Park and surrounding areas there. That's all because of Giannis and that $200 million or $230 million around their max extension, Willie.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that extension. That extension is part of the reason why they won. And what I'm getting at is, could you imagine if Giannis had decided to be a free agent this year? Every single shot that Chris Middleton missed, every single shot that Drew Holiday missed, every single shot that PJ Tucker missed would have been evaluated, and people would have said, see, that's why Giannis is not committing long term. So those guys didn't have to play with that pressure. If they had a bad game, if they missed a shot, if Bobby Portis didn't get one rebound, they're not getting overanalyzed. Or see, that's what Giannis is doing. Not playing with that pressure, I think, helped them a lot.
Yeah, Derwin, we talk about it, man. Just how special is this for Giannis? And what message does it send across the league, the association, that he went about it this way? Will we see a change? Will we see guys now stay in smaller markets? Stay in a Sacramento, a New Orleans, an OKC, a Memphis, a Portland, Dane,
Dane,
Milwaukee.
You next.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
A Charlotte.
Man, I'm an old school dude. I believe in beating the best, competing. You see some of these guys, they want to team up. They don't seem like they want to compete. They just want to make a super team. This is so refreshing. It is so rewarding for Giannis because he didn't leave. He went to the team that drafted him, a place where a lot of people, free agents, really wouldn't want to go in any sport for that matter. And he goes there. He said, this is my city. I want to win it for the people. And he stayed. He didn't leave, go somewhere else, build a super team, and then come back. He stayed there, got the job done. You can never take it away from him.
That's why he said, hey, if we never win another one, so be it. But you can't take this one away from him. They will always be champions. Congratulations to Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. We're going to take a break here. We'll come back with more esports section. We're still talking about the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Look at him. Had cigars for everybody in the locker room and the champagne party. Got up in the morning, and he's driving around Milwaukee looking for nuggets and chicken minis. We'll talk about it with more Esports Extra right here on BNC. And we're back here working on a weekend here on BNC. This is Esports Extra, the show that talks traditional sports, esports, gaming, culture, and entertainment. Really here, CBS Sports, Madden, NFL, NBA, 2K League. Kelly Wells Brinkley, Derwin O'Reilly, OG King Kirk, hey, Willie down there in Dallas, guys. We're still talking about Giannis, and just a sight, man, to see this guy, just the youthful exuberance, 26 years of age, making all that money, and he rolls up on Chick-fil-A. He's like, hey, I want 50 chicken minis. Not 49, not 51, 50 exactly, right there, square on the number. How cool is it to see Giannis, rolling around Milwaukee, Brew City, Cream City like this, literally with no sleep the very next morning after winning a championship and delivering a promise that he told Kobe he was going to do, MVP, and also winning a chip. Kels?
He is so adorable to me. Like watching the sheer joy that comes from what he did with his teammates, all of the pride that he has in himself. I find it to be so refreshing to watch because oftentimes athletes look at this like a job or yes, winning a championship is great, but we've done it a couple times, so the sting isn't so much there. So watching him pull up in Chick-fil-A and not exactly know what to order, he asked the ladies permission.
He knew. He said, look, 50 chicken minis. He said fries, and he also said half Sprite, right? And half lemonade.
Half lemonade. who drinks that? But we'll start.
That's the Giannis. Chick-fil-A needs to give him a deal. I'll tell you
Maybe
that.
so. Just give him a deal. Like I'll try it the next time I'm there. But it's just so sweet to watch and listen and to hear all of the things that he was saying and to like really feel like you were there with him, feeling those emotions. I love it.
Yeah, D-Dubs, man. How cool was it to see old Giannis, man, just running around Milwaukee like he's just some average Joe? Like, dude, you can't do this. You're freaking Giannis. He's got 150,000 people on his IG live. Come on, man.
Man, he's the people's champ. He's not just the NBA champion. He's Milwaukee's champion, and it's just refreshing to see him. He's driving around not with one, but with both trophies, and he let one of the fans, touch the trophy. These fans that are running around his vehicle, talking to him, they'll never forget that moment. He's not shying away from the fans and going to Chick-fil-A. It's just refreshing to see. It's just awesome. And he's just sharing this championship with the whole city of Milwaukee, something that it took 50 years to do. And he stamped it with a 50 burger in that game.
Absolutely. OG, a lot of these athletes, they talk about, man, you win or you do something great in a town, you'll never have to buy dinner or pay for a beer again in that city. Giannis put that to the test, right?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, and let's get this straight. Chick-fil-A is gourmet fast food.
It is.
So, I mean, and the funny thing about it,
he should be happy and lucky that they did not clinch on a Sunday or Saturday night going into Sunday.
Right. The beauty of it is that we always talk about a 50 piece or 20 piece or 40 piece. I mean, for the fact that he put up 50 and arguably the best closeout performance in NBA history, to top it off and get a 50 piece from Chick-fil-A is outstanding because it's definitely it's what they call God's chicken. So it's really good. And I mean, and not to mention Giannis is organically funny. Like it's not forced or anything. And hopefully with him winning this title, that we'll see more of him in front of the TV screen. That's not always related with just basketball because, like I said, in general, he's just a funny guy.
Hey, Willie, you're a marketing guy. You're a big, former, guy at Nike, Red Sox, Phoenix Suns. You've been in these offices and behind these walls. Chick-fil-A got almost $300,000 worth of brand identity and worth just from Giannis the other day. If I'm Giannis and I've got an agent, and I know he's pretty good, we got to capitalize on that. Am I crazy?
No,
Okay.
No, you're not crazy at all. You got to leverage that. You
strike on right.
This game is all about leverage, who has it and who doesn't. And when you have it, you gotta really exercise it. You gotta flex. I love the fact that when he said he asked for barbecue sauce because Bar in the Shaq deal, he said I got 50 pieces of barbecue chicken. So it was a little petty in there as well as shot at the Suns. So I thought that was funny. And then the other thing he's doing right now, he's actually providing cover for Aaron Rodgers because people aren't talking as much about what's going on with the Packers because Giannis is running the NBA right now.
Well, not that much in Milwaukee or Green Bay. The nice segue there, Willie. Guess who we're going to be talking about here coming up next? Next topic, next subject.
Man, I didn't know that, man. Well, maybe you would think you know what? I did know that. There was some insider trading.
I was about to say,
y'all better call Martha Stewart.
Don't treat us like Enron or Martha Stewart, man. Don't do that. Enron down there where Kelly Wells at in Houston. Good stuff there. But yeah, Giannis, it was good to see him driving around Milwaukee. I think he went to multiple locations. So it was good to see him, pull up on these people and break down the menu, the Chick-fil-A menu, as only Giannis could do. I think he was with his girlfriend at times as well. So it was good to see the back and forth on the banter there. All right, coming up next here on Esports Extra, that young man, bottom left corner right there, Antonio Williams just talked about it. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers. Was offered a 2-year extension, would have given him 5 more years in Milwaukee, made him the highest paid QB in the NFL. Aaron said, no, I'm good. We'll talk about that on the other side. You're watching Esports Extra right here on BNC. Back here on BNC Black News Channel for Esports Extra, the show that talks traditional sports, gaming, esports, culture, entertainment. Kelly Rose Brinkley, Durham Royal, Antonio Williams, OG King Kurt. OG, but he's not so old. He's actually younger than me, so I can't call him OG. I'm gonna call him Young Boy King Kurt. What's up, OG? How you doing, man? You good?
I'm good. All
right, we're gonna start with you, man. We're just talking about Aaron Rodgers, and speaking of the Milwaukee Bucks, he is a owner of the Milwaukee Bucks. So Aaron Rodgers is a Super Bowl champ. and an NBA champ. But right now, he's sort of a bit in his feelings, if you will, with the Green Bay Packers. Doesn't feel appreciated. Won Super Bowl back in, I believe that was a 2010 season. That Super Bowl where A. Willie's at, that was played in the Dallas area, North Texas, at the Cowboys Stadium. Turned down a 2-year extension, was made him the highest paid QB in the NFL. Still making really good money. They ain't like he's making chump change here. Your thoughts here on Aaron Rodgers with training camp scheduled to be July 28th for the Pack. I believe they were supposed to report veterans the day before on the 27th. We'll start with you, OG. Will Aaron Rodgers report the training camp next week?
I don't think so. I mean, it comes down to a matter of respect. Actually, it's funny because this is my realm as a general manager. I think just in having a star player and of his talent and what he's meant to the Packers, it could have been handled a lot differently. I mean, when you think about making moves and you don't involve your star player, it better be for the betterment of the team. And in this case, it was another quarterback. So I think it's still ill feelings behind that. And I think, he got a chance to see what happened with Tom Brady and his situation and what was the end result of that. I think he's going to try to, squeeze this out as much as possible and see what's best for Aaron Rodgers before he does anything.
Derwin, everyone's been looking at Tom Brady, what he was able to do, leaving New England after the 2019 season, going into 2020 with the Bucs, winning his 7th Super Bowl title, getting a little more say in what's going on there, the freedom, if you will, to move about the country. I guess it'd be flying Southwest, should be all right, or whatever. D-Dubs, your thoughts here on Aaron Rodgers, man. Why aren't the Packers giving him the love, and why isn't he feeling the love?
They were downright disrespectful, if you ask me. So the Packers, everything they're getting right now, they deserve that, because you do not draft a quarterback in the first round when you have a Hall of Fame quarterback on your roster. You're pretty much telling him that you think that he's not going to be around much longer, that he's done. You went and got his replacement, and you didn't even tell him about it. You didn't get him any help at wide receiver. You didn't try to help this guy. You went and got his replacement. I wouldn't sign an extension with those guys. They've been downright disrespectful. I don't blame Aaron Rodgers to be pissed off with them.
Kelly, your husband, Jasper Brinkley, played in the National Football League. $50,000 fine. You okay with that?
If I'm Aaron Rodgers, like it ain't. That's a drop in the bucket. Like, I mean, my eyelashes may have costed more than that at that point.
Wow.
But I mean, now regular life, take your you know what to where you need to be. But I mirror everyone's sentiments of the disrespect is just so loud. They didn't do anything to solve his problems. So why would they think picking up a quarterback would solve the team's problems when you didn't get the things that are needed to put together a great team? He's dedicated himself to that organization from top to bottom, and they just slapped him in the face. It is hard to believe, but then not hard to believe at the same time. It's inexcusable. They did a bad job. He should make them squirm like a worm on a hook. Dangle it, get all that you can, make sure that you get what you deserve and the respect that you need.
Hey, Willie, look, I'm all for it, but at some point you got to fish or cut bait. So what's going to happen here? The rubber's about to meet the road here. Hey, Willie, I just gave you the dates, July 27th and 28th. That's literally around the corner. We're talking 4 days, my friend, 3 days coming up here.
Right. I hear everything that everybody is saying, and I agree. I don't know if it was funny because I thought he was going to show up at some point, but I think he's really dug in. And I can certainly understand and see how he feels like that, especially when you play that quarterback position and everybody keeps bringing Tom Brady up, which are absolutely spot on with, with Tom Brady. We're seeing it now. He's in a new situation. And not only is he exhibiting that freedom on the football field, he's exhibiting that freedom on social media. Dude, talking, running off at the jitters, saying everything. And no, he is talking, right? So what he's doing is, this is how all these franchise level quarterbacks feel. This is how they all feel.
How can the Packers sort of fix this, though?
You can't go back. Like, sometimes you can't undo what's been done, and they slapped him in the face. You can't unslap somebody. I tried.
You know what they realized? Jordan Love is not ready. That's what they realized.
Well, they're only going to have Jordan Love for a short period of time. Maybe 5 years. You get the 4-year deal with the fifth option. They don't have a lot of time. The difference between the Packers and the Chiefs, When they were thinking about getting Patrick Mahomes, they told Alex Smith, we want to draft this young kid, from Texas Tech. They told Aaron Rodgers, a Hall of Fame quarterback, nothing, and just blindsided him by taking the quarterback.
Hey, Willie, 10 seconds. How do you show respect? Because they tried with the money.
You got to move them.
Ooh, Denver? Well, I mean, where else could he go? Denver. Maybe the Raiders or somewhere. I know Belichick would love him right now. I think that might be a secret place, but not next year. Maybe the year after next. We'll see. Good stuff, guys. We'll come back with more esports. We're diving into college football, guys. Bombshell, seismic shift in college football potentially coming up. Texas and Oklahoma reaching out to the SEC, leaving Big 12. There's millions of reasons why they should do this. Also, Jackson State University got our guy down there, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime. That's how he wants to be addressed. Not Deion Sanders, not Prime Time. Coach, a reporter made a mistake and Deion let him have it. We'll talk about that with more here on Esports Extra. You're watching it here on BNC. Back here on Esports Extra here on BNC, the only show that talks traditional sports, esports, gaming, entertainment, and culture. Kelly Wills, Durham, A. Willie, OG King Kerr, guys. College football near and dear to my heart from down south, Nashville, Tennessee. Played college football, Division I at Middle Tennessee. Love it. I'm not sure the folks in Texas and Oklahoma love this. Bombshell report came out midweek this past week. OU and also UT. Houston Chronicle, down there where you're at, Kelly Wills. So we're going to start with you. What the hell is going on in Texas and in Oklahoma, where you got OU and Texas trying to leave the Big 12 for greener pastures? I'm going to make it very simple for you, Kelly. They get about $35 million from the Big 12. You know what they would get if they went to the SEC?
What's that?
Like $60-70 million, almost double.
Pack your bags. Pack your bags. Move it or lose it. Get your stuff and go head on. At the end of the day, I think that if we've learned anything from this time in COVID, from what has shown you, get your bag, because we don't know what is happening around the corner. I know people get really stuck in their ways. Hell, I went to Hampton University and we switched from the MEAC to a whole different conference. We went from an HBCU conference to a PWI conference. So I've seen the transition. It's very hard. Fans get stuck, back in a place because those older seasoned people, they get stuck in their ways and they want what they want. But hey, the bottom line is the bottom line. I am a woman of a bag. I want all the bags. So no, everybody get your stuff and move over to the SEC and be happy about it.
What a Birkin bag? Is that what you're talking about as a woman?
Who wants to buy one? Are we collectively putting in?
Jimmy Choo, what a handbag too? Red or baby blue? King Von. That's what I'm talking about. R.I.P. King Von. Derwin, your thoughts here? OU-UT in the SEC. The SEC's already thinking about it. Hell, on the SEC network the other day, we're talking about this is what we would do. We have 16 teams. We put them in 4 pods. I'm like, man, it's going to happen. No one denied it, Derwin.
Yeah.
Everybody sent out statements and no one denied it.
I mean, it's a big power play for the SEC, and also anticipating that the playoffs might be expanded to about 12 teams.
But Mike Leach at Mississippi State said he won 64. He's wild.
Yeah, he's bugging out.
That's Mike Leach.
But if you're Oklahoma and Texas, it's a good move for you because you're going to play in the best conference in college football. For Oklahoma, in the Big 12, they've been the big dog for the last 6 years. They won the last, 6 titles. If they go to the SEC, they get to play better competition. Instead of playing Oklahoma State and Kansas State, you get to play LSU and some of the other powerhouses in Auburn and some of the other powerhouses in the SEC. In Texas, we all know UT is king. So the one team that in the SEC already that might hurt from this is Texas A&M, because they've been able to, steal some of those recruits, saying, "Hey, come to the SEC." Because,
we're the only team in Texas in the SEC.
Right. And now University of Texas can say, hey, come to UT. And they have their own television network. So we got to see how that's going to play out as well, because the Big 12, they can't really compete with the SEC. No. And you got to go get that money.
Yeah. Hey, Willie, there's one small problem, though. When you look at it, the money would be great. But if you're Oklahoma and Texas, you're right. Now you got to play LSU. You got to play Alabama. You got to play Auburn. You got to play Florida. You got to play Georgia. You got to play Mississippi State. You got to play Arkansas. You got to play A&M. Dude, I'm looking at 3-4 losses a year if they don't get their act together. How easy is that? That ain't easy.
It's not easy at all. And that's why they're talking about it when we're having more discussion about an expanded playoff. If we were still looking at 4 teams in the playoff, they wouldn't be talking about this. But, you know, it's funny, too, because it all sort of lines up with NIL. And also, too, I remember, I think it was maybe 10 years ago now where I thought it was going to be really college athletics Armageddon because I think there were like 8 teams out of the Big 12 that were talking about going to, or 6 teams talking about going to the Pac-12.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have just been a massive sort of seismic shift in college sports. But I think what we're really moving toward is those teams that compete, especially in football, at the highest level, we're moving toward them being their own independent entity. And if this happens, we get much, much closer to it.
Real quickly, OG, I want to get your thoughts here. You know, coming into the potentially going into the SEC, there's going to be one school that's going to be very critical to this, and you all just mentioned it, Texas A&M. Look, they came into the SEC thinking we're going to be the only thing smoking in Texas. How do they sort of massage that? I know how they can sort of get around it by voting. Some of these other schools taking their, removing themselves from it. When you allow these other teams, I know Kentucky and some other schools have said, look, if you bring another school from our state, we'll back out. It's going to be politics, and it's going to be local, and it's going to be with presidents and board of regents. This thing has got a long way to go. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Am I feeling something here?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. If I was Texas A&M, I'd worry too. The one thing about it is SEC is king, and it would help Texas and Oklahoma tremendously. And the other thing about it from a recruiting standpoint, I mean, the SEC is about to hog all the 4 and 5 star players because you want to compete in that type of football in order to increase your stock for the NFL. So I think it's money is evident. I mean, but I think just overall from a football standpoint, it's going to help out a lot of those schools because it's going to be more competitive. And once again, it's going to be all eyes on the SEC.
Well, they just got that new TV deal. It's kind of hard to get out of this deal if you're OU or UT until 2025. They're talking about taking their money and rights and things of that nature. Then you got to pay an exit fee. It's a long way to go, but I tend to believe this, guys. It would not surprise me if this thing happens in the next 2 or 3 years. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's keep it in college football. Jackson State, Coach Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, as he likes to be addressed as, had SWAC Media Days early this week. Was asked by a reporter some questions. Deion did his media obligations. Let's get that out there. Stayed a little longer, a little extra to take questions from this reporter from the Jackson Clarion Ledger. I know it very well, working in Jackson, Mississippi. His name is Nick Suss. Take a listen to this exchange between Coach Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, and Nick Suss from the Clarion Ledger.
You don't call Nick Saban Nick. Don't call me Deion. Okay.
I call Nick Saban Nick.
You don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's a lie. If you call Nick Nick, you know you get cussed out on the spot. So don't do that to me. Treat me like Nick.
Okay, Deion. Just
So you can see there, people were saying Deion walked away. Well, look, he actually stayed. So it's not like he ran away and walked away from his press conference. A little Jim Rome-esque there. Antonio Williams, the reporter came back twice. It was like, all right, Deion. It's like, well, look, you wouldn't call Nick Saban Nick. Well, this is a tough one. I see where Deion is coming. Look, we're on Black News Show. Let's keep it on Buck right here. This is just straight up respect. Look, I'm a black man. You call me what I ask you to call me. That's what this was about. It wasn't about Nick Saban. Because, look, they called Nick Saban Nick 8 times at the SEC Media Days the other day. Hey, Willie, take this over.
Yeah, it really is about that respect. And I think what it also speaks to as well is, and we've talked about this before, but when Black coaches are in particular are in those positions of leadership, they're expected to be relationship people and not necessarily be people that we look at for discipline and structure. We're supposed to be the relationship people. We're supposed to be the easygoing people, the people that it's really easy to talk to. And so I know what Coach Prime is doing. He's not only setting that precedent with the media, he's also setting that precedent within his program as well. Because if you are a player, you're seeing this, it's like, man, like he's saying to someone that he doesn't know him, call me coach. you need to do that. You need to do the same thing when you're in those doors at Jackson State as well. So I can understand it, and I see why he's doing it.
Kelly Wells, fair or foul? How we treated the reporter there?
Completely fair. If I ask you to call me whatever I asked you to call me, that's just what you call me. You might give him the first one because the president hadn't been established yet. Like we didn't know that he preferred Coach Prime. But once he corrected him and then he said Dion with that look on his face, you know, like yeah, it was the look like bro, you're out here trying like you outside the club, you can't even get in. Like relax, calm down. So I just feel like it's a matter of respect. I mean, we saw it with President Obama, with former President Obama. They refused to put the president in front of him. It's a lack of respect. You give personal respect. If we can get pronouns right, preferred pronouns right, then we can get someone's preferred name right. And that is his name. That is, well, Prime is his name, but that is what he prefers to be called. So just fall in line or don't speak to him. It's very simple.
Derwin, Nick Suss, your reporter. Have you ever called a coach by their given first name? I know I have plenty of times.
Just normally, coach, whatever.
I call him coach, but sometimes you get a good relationship. I'll call him by his first name. Doc. I call him Doc all the time.
I'm a big respect guy. If the guy asks me to call him by a certain name, that's what I'm going to call him by. Period. And a lot of times I see coaches, I just say, "Coach, hey, coach," and I keep it moving and ask my question. You know, I don't know what this guy was thinking, but what was also funny, there's a rebuttal. I don't know if you saw the video with the team. They called it, that was funny.
They broke it down. They broke it down. And when he walked away, it was like, "Hey, Dion." And they all started laughing. But it was a dance, too. So he's using the social media to sell his program. Brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a marketing guy. Dion's always about, prime time, marketing. So he's real smart.
Yeah. OG, your thoughts here real quickly. Dion and Nick Suss down there with the Clarion Ledger in Jackson, Mississippi. They call it Jacktown.
The only thing Dion was asking for was for him to put some respect on his name, man. And he couldn't do that. The funny thing about it, the first thing I thought was, better be glad for Zoom. Because if this would have been live, we probably have had more sound bites to it. So yeah, just easily. Just get a man his respect. You don't have to like Dion the person, but respect him in his profession and what he's doing. And respect his wishes. That's as simple as that.
Real quickly, you've been a coach. OG, you won right now. Is it okay to call you coach, or can I call you Ivan?
Nah, everybody in my space, they either call me Kurt or OG. I say it's only Ivan if you know me.
I got you. I hear you. All right, good stuff, man. We'll see about Coach Prime down there at Jackson State. We'll watch and keep an eye on the product on the field. They went 4-3 this past spring as they get set. I think they open up in Miami, big classic down there. It should be a lot of fun. Jackson State doing some great things with Deion Sanders. Let's take a break. We'll come back with more Esports Extra right here on BNC. We're talking Maria Taylor. She is leaving ESPN, folks. Oh, been a crazy couple of weeks. We heard the Rachel Nichols story. Now she is leaving the worldwide leader. Where will she end up? We'll have it for you right here on BNC. Watching Esports Extra. We're back here on BNC for Esports Extra, the show that talks traditional sports, esports gaming, entertainment, and culture. Kelly Wills Brinkley, Darren Warwell, kids call him Dabu, OG King Kurt, Antonio Williams, former Phoenix Suns scout, Red Sox, and Nike as well. Kelly Wills Brinkley, our Olympian, as the Olympics are going on right now in Tokyo. She won a bronze medal back in 2012. She's not a former Olympian, by the way. She is always an Olympian. You tell them, Kelly, we're right? Kelly, right?
Yes, absolutely. There's no such thing as a former, always an Olympian. That's it.
And our favorite Olympian, by the way, one of our favorite reporters and hosts out there is Maria Taylor from ESPN. We know about the dust up, with Rachel Nichols, ESPN, lowballing her, things of that nature. He did end up somewhere reportedly, allegedly around $3 million. I don't know if that was enough to get it over the finish line. She did her last game at the NBA Finals. I think her contract called for her to be done after like a certain date. I believe it was after game 4, or if I'm not mistaken. And they had to sort of amend it a little bit to say, she can stay on through games if there's a potential game 5 or 6, which of course there were games 5 and 6, but she's leaving. And it looks like reportedly, guys, NBC Sports, which is right down the street from us in Stanford, at CBS Sports, actually up the street technically. Your thoughts here, guys? Nice landing spot for Maria. I like it. She can do Notre Dame football, Sunday night football as well. You got Notre Dame. You got some other properties there at NBC Sports. Look, it's all about where you're loved and wanted and respected, Kelly Wills Brinkley.
Now I'm so overjoyed for her. What she went through had to have just been completely traumatic, knowing that we all know that people talk about us behind our backs, but to actually hear it, is probably devastating too. So to see that she has, revamped herself, she amended her contract. Now she's out to get, the bag somewhere else. I'm overjoyed for her. She's so knowledgeable, so eloquent, so beautiful. I think that she deserves all that's coming to her. I love to see Black women on TV. So I'm excited that you guys created this space for me. And, now she's just doing it on a much bigger scale. And she's going to bring up the rest of the people that are trying to do the same thing.
Kelly, real quickly, you were in the group chat. You were like, hey, I'm available, guys, if you need me. And what did I say?
You said you always need me.
Of course we do. Of course, absolutely. We got to have our queen. We can't have 4 guys if they're talking. We need representation, and you are representing for the ladies.
I love y'all.
Oh, we love you too, baby. Derwin, you got a special connection or a small connection to Maria Taylor, right?
Yeah, I met her a couple of years ago at NABJ, and back then, she was kind of looking around for, I guess, her next gig or a new job, and I have an old business card of hers. It says volleyball analyst and basketball analyst. So, she's come a long way. I'm so happy for her. She's finally going to get the bag that she deserves. And more importantly, she gets out of that toxic area of ESPN where things just didn't go well for her the last couple of months. And she gets to leave that all behind and go to greener pastures. And I'm so happy for her.
Show us the card real quickly. I know you got it. Put it down. Wow, that is Maria Taylor. Dude, that was before ESPN. That must have been a few years ago. That's at least 10.
It's a long time ago, man. And she was just like chatting it up with us. It was about 4 of us in a little mini circle just talking. And look at what she has become. Tremendous.
That's what it is at the National Association of Black Journalists conferences. We have them every year. I've been going for like 20 years now. So absolutely, that's where I met Durban, if I'm not mistaken. OG, your thoughts, Maria Taylor leaving ESPN. Good move?
Yeah, I mean, I think they didn't appreciate her, and she has the world open to her. I mean, to be young, Black, talented, and great at what she does is definitely NBC is going to benefit greatly from it. I can't wait to see what she does. I watch her a lot on social media. She's always just such a professional. Even when she's just talking about any and everything, she does it in such an eloquent way that a lot of people receive her message great. So just more power to her. Can't wait to see what she does at NBC.
Hey, Willie, I like the landing spot at NBC. You can see how this thing sort of tracks for her. You got our guy Tarico there. He's going to take over from Al Michaels. She could be doing Sunday night, football night in America. And you got Notre Dame, plenty of opportunities there at NBC with some big stuff. No, Sunday night football is the biggest number 1 rated thing on in the NFL. Number 1 package. Besides CBS, but as far as night stuff, it's absolutely number 1.
No question. And again, when we always talk about these things, we hear about these types of things coming out, it's always people think that we're getting these opportunities based on the fact that we gotten a melanin line more than once. But here's the reality is most of the time when we get those opportunities, we're overqualified for those. This is, again, Derwin talked about it. She played college volleyball, was a volleyball analyst, basketball. Also, too, she hosted the college football show on ESPN as well. And all of the eyeballs that are on that set. So she's more than qualified to be where she is, and very happy for her.
All right, good stuff. Maria Taylor. We'll see to make it official. We'll find out about that over the next few days and upcoming weeks if she lands at NBC Sports. So congratulations to Maria Taylor moving on, leaving ESPN. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with the final segment here. We're going to be talking esports. That is the title. That is the first word in the name, Esports Xtra. NBA 2K League. Of course, Ivan, OG King Kirks, part of the NBA 2K League. The Hornets taking home the very first big championship. 6 figures coming home to the guys from Hornets Venom, the Charlotte Hornets, NBA 2K League franchise. We'll have it for you right here on Esports Extra right here on BNC. Back here for a final segment on Esports Extra here on BNC, the show that talks traditional sports, esports gaming, entertainment, and culture. Larry Ridley here. I got my cast of characters: Kelly Wells Brinkley, our Olympian, Doran Morrell, fellow sportscaster, and Tony Williams, Phoenix Suns scout back in the day, and OG King, current coach of the NBA 2K League's Brooklyn Nets gaming crew. And we're talking NBA 2K League. OG, you guys were in the tournaments, the first tournament of the NBA 2K League season. You guys played the eventual champions, Charlotte Hornets, Venom GT, the Charlotte Hornets NBA 2K League team. You guys lost to them in the quarters. They went ahead and took it home. What made them successful? How were they able to capture the turn, the first of 3 large tournaments in the NBA 2K League, which is owned and run and operated by the NBA?
Yeah, actually, this was the second. They had the tip off, and this was the turn. Right. The Hornets Venom GT, they have been dominant all year long on the defensive end. And that's really what they thrive off of. They had some lineup changes here and there where one of their top players, Crown, he was in and out of the lineup, but it's been proven that when he's in the lineup, they're definitely more of a deadly team. And they put it together. The turn is interesting because, you actually have archetype bands and different things like that where you have to strategize a lot different than you normally would. And they just, they escaped by us. They swept us in our series, won by 10 one game and won by 8 the next. Then they went on it. They went on ahead to face a tough and gritty heat check gaming team that was on fire and then got past them and ultimately defeated Blazer 5 in the championship. Just a great run. They, built a pretty good organization down there. One of my good friends, Lawrence West, Big West, Nacho trainer. So that, Rigby took home the MVP of the tournament.
Yeah. What was the prize pool for the turn here? The second of the 3 major events. You got the tip off the turn. What's the last one coming up next month?
Yeah, it was $260K prize pool, but they took home $117K of it. So
117 split between the 6 of them, correct?
Correct. So
good change.
Oh, definitely. They actually, following the turn, they actually had their first live event at the Spectrum Center where they put their gaming consoles and everything on the main concourse. Had Autumn Johnson down there to report live. Definitely did a great job handling things after winning the turn.
Our good friend Kelly Derwin. Hey, Willie, any last thoughts? Jump in here real quickly. Esports right here, NBA 2K League, Charlotte. One of the last teams to get into the league a couple of years ago. I think they were the 23rd team, right? Maybe 23, correct. Something like that, yeah.
It's Nets gaming crew all day, every day.
gang. But I need to start gaming because these prize pools, coach me. Coach me.
6 figures. A couple of years ago, remember the kid Buga from 16 years of age from the Philly area, won $3 million in that Fortnite event at the tennis center. So yeah, there's money in it, man. So I always tell my kids, they kill me, they get on my nerves playing the video games all the time. But it's like, look, they see me doing esports and stuff like that. So it is what it is, and I just tell them, look, just be good at whatever you're gonna do. That's all. Just be consistent. Guys, thanks, man.
Somebody to pay for college.
Absolutely. There you go. We've been doing a lot of collegiate events as well. Guys, it's been a great show here, guys. Kelly Wells Brinkley, our Olympian, Derwin Morrell, fellow sportscaster, OG King Kirk, head coach of the Brooklyn Nets gaming crew, NBA 2K League, and Antonio Williams, just an all-around good guy, former Phoenix Suns scout. We're going to get out of here. I'm Larry Ridley, CBS Sports, Madden, NFL, NBA 2K League. Don't forget, you can watch us right here each and every Saturday and Sunday. Esports Extra, the show that talks traditional sports, esports, and gaming. Saturday and Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Guys, wave, and let's get out of here, guys. Thanks for watching Esports Extra. We'll see you next weekend, guys, right here at BNC. Truth, baby. Truth.